According to a Jack Threads article that I read called The History of Preppy America, preps have been around since the early 1900s. However, the style really peaked in the 1940s and 50s when kids from affluent families attended prep schools in hopes of getting into Ivy League colleges like Princeton and Harvard. To them, the style was much more than prestigious clothing. It meant proper decorum, social achievement, and tradition. But in the late 1980s, when the Preppy Handbook came out, the style was then available to everyone and the group was no longer exclusive. Today, I'm going to tell you about the history of the Preppy style, how it has progressed, the contributors of the style, and how people view it. You might be wondering how am I eligible to talk about this topic, but I like to shop. Some people like my dad might even call me a shopaholic. I compare new brands to old brands and their quality. I also own many of these preppy brands such as Jack Rogers and Lilly Pulitzer. We know that the preppy style peaked in the 1940s and 50s, but has the style changed a lot since then? Let's look at how the style is different today than it was in the 1940s and 50s. In a Vanity Fair article that I read called The Preppy Reboot, it compares the preppy style from then to today. Preppy style has always resembled a very high-class, sophisticated, and classy style. However, the term classy has been modified through the years. No longer does it mean women have to wear pants and cook dinner every night. Now it means something like call your grandmother once a week, make sure to update your profile picture, join the local tennis club, and if it's sunny outside, wear Lilly. It is also imperative that preps take care of their clothes. However, they are not obsessive. A little stain in a blouse or small holes in a sweater won't faze them. But back then, it could have been the end of the world. We know a few rules about the preppy style, but let's look at some major contributors of the style. Fashion icon First Lady Jackie Kennedy is the sole reason for the sensational Jack Rogers sandal. According to Glamour Fashion, CEO Claire Soulis says, "We feel like she has a classic and timeless style. We are so we are making and creating and designing each style. We think if Jackie were here today, would she wear something like this?" Jackie's sandals came about after her 1960s trip to Capri, when she fell in love with a pair of sandals. She brought it back to her hometown to have her local cobbler make some. Well, he made a pair for her in a few different colors, and her friends started to fall in love with the shoes, and the rest, they say, is history. Lilly Pulitzer is another preppy portrait. Lilly had a lemonade stand at her home in Palm Beach, where she squeezed fresh orange juice. She was always trying to cover up stains that the juice had left on her dresses, and one day she designed a sleeveless shift dress with many colors and lots of patterns to hide the stains. While wearing her creation and selling her juice, people fell in love with her dresses, and before she knew it, she was selling more dresses than juice. Other brands associated with the style of preppy are LL Bean, J. Crew, Brooks Brothers, Vineyard Vines, Patagonia, Southern Tide, Southern Shirt Company, really anything with the name Southern, Bourbon and Bow Ties, J. Press, Lacoste, Ralph Lauren Polo, Kate Spade, and many more. For many years, the preppy style has remained popular. However, there are lots of different views towards this style. Some people feel that preps are stuck-up, rich little snobs. But to the preppies, this style is more than just clothing. It's a way of life. It is so much more than a pair of Jack Rogers or wearing a button-down on any occasion. To a prep, the style means classy, well-respected, and to this day, a form of social achievement. It may not be an exclusive group anymore, but is that a bad thing? Is a world full of well-mannered people something we want to make exclusive? From the kids that are preps, they say it's a classification, a stereotype. It's not just who has the most money and who can buy the nicest things. Yes, we do love dressing nice and having nice things, but we also love a good bargain, finding a great sale. And not only do we love getting a new Lily dress, but we love being well respected, and that does not just come from the clothes that you wear. It's how you act, how you represent yourself, how you treat others, and the manners you use, and making sure to call Grammy at least once every other week. All that to say, you don't have to be rich to be preppy anymore. Anyone can be a prep. Yeah, you might not have all the latest and greatest fashions, but the good thing about preppy is it never goes out of style. Anyone can use good manners. And don't forget, seersucker is always in season. It is my greatest hope that everyone will give the preppy style a chance. There is nothing wrong with being well respected, and manners will never go out of style. But one last thing. Although at the beginning the style was to form exclusivity, it has evolved. The point of preppy now is to create a well-mannered person who can gain success from society. The point is not to try and be someone you're not or to be better than anyone else. The point now is to be the best you can be.